actually.
So I won't take much of your time. I know that my colleagues have been talking about different things. So I will only spend a few moments here to ask questions as well. We want to look at the Ebs Rcm. We will be talking about, I have my colleague talking about EBS manager. Others have talked about electronic tax clearance certificates. Others have talked about automated revenue receipts. Others have talked about validations, all of that. Those are things that you can do on your desktop and you can do physically and all of that. We're also saying that there's an online version of the same system that you can stay in your bedroom and operate. That you can have access through your phone. You can have access to them through your phone or through any of the gadgets. I have some people mentioning iPads and all of that, so that means that we're all comfortable with that. So the online version of the Ebs Rcm is what we want to talk about now. The address is there. That's on the World Wide Web. www.lasg-ebs-rcm.com. If you want to have access to reports, I'm sure some of us monitor our collections. You want to know your collection profile. You can have access to it via these websites. You can have access to it when you are in your house, when you are in your office, when you are on holiday, anywhere you are. You can have access to such information via this website. This is the address. I'll mention it again. www.lasg-ebs-rcm.com. Now, if you visit this site, it's a simple site, but there are two modes. One of the modes is the general mode, which is where everybody can go in and get the available information. You can download your forms there, you can make inquiries there, you can make requests there, you can download resources there, and so on and so forth. That is the general mode. But for the kind of people that are gathered here today, who are the principal officers of the various agencies or your own particular agency, you can do much more than that. That means that you have to be authenticated to use the audit mode of that website. You use the audit mode, and that is where the reports are generated. And for you to be able to do that, you have to be given a password and the appropriate privilege. These two things are very, very important. You log on properly to the system, create a password for yourself, then you are authorized, that is given a privilege to do certain things on that mode, depending on the privilege that you are given. There are also a proviso here. If you are from the, let's say you're from the Ministry of Finance, you are an official of the Ministry of Finance, you will only be authorized to view reports relating to your own ministry and nothing more. If you are from lands, you will be authorized to view reports belonging to lands. But if you are higher up there, maybe you are the chairman of Lagos Internal Revenue Service, that means that everything that concerns LIRS, you'll be able to view everything. If you are the governor or the accountant general, you should be able to view whatever that is the holistic thing, the global information belonging to all the ministries and all of that. So what I'm talking about is that even though you can log on and generate reports, the reports will be dependent on the privilege you have. And your privilege will be restricted to the report that concerns you, and that is your own agency. It's not because it is online, then you can see whatever every other person will know. It is also regulated. That is what we're trying to talk about there. Now, if you get there, let's say that you are from, let's say that you are the chairman of Lagos Internal Revenue Service, and you want to know how much a bank has collected on payee. Let's say 10 payee, which is a revenue item. So you say, okay, fine. How much has all the banks put together collected for a given period of time? Let's say for yesterday and today, or for yesterday only, or for 1 month. You should be able to put that information on this website and get it by revenue tab. It's okay, fine. Let me know what this agency has collected. In all the revenues you collect, you want to know, you can also get that by agency type. So you can view reports by agency type, you can view report by revenue type. I hope you all understand what I mean by agency type. Agency represents the agency or government that I make payment to, like Lagos Internal Revenue Service, classified as an agency, like land use charge, which is the Ministry of Finance, classified as an agency, like Lands Bureau, classified as an agency. So you can say, let me know what everybody has collected by agency type. That will come. They said, no, I want to know what's a revenue item. This particular revenue item, how much has been collected via this revenue item. Let's say land use charge. How much has accrued to government via land use charge? You can also get that information. That is by revenue type. So you can generate a report by agency type, and you can generate a report by revenue type. Then you can also generate your report by banks. That's okay, fine. Access Bank, how much have you collected for this given period of time? You can have that. You can say, okay, fine, I want to all the banks put together, how much have they collected? You can also have that report. And remember that whatever report you are getting is very authentic. Because what it means is that somebody has gone to the bank, made that deposit, and received the receipt. And when once that receipt is received, that means that it is in the database, and it is that information that you are receiving. So whatever report you are getting on these things I'm talking about are valid to the point. Okay, so we can do that. Then you can also create payer IDs. My colleagues must have been talking about payer IDs. It's a very, very simple thing. The payer identification number is simply a unique way of identifying a payer. A proper way of identifying a payer is something similar to account number. If you go to the bank to make payment, or if you go to the bank to open an account, what happens? They take your details and create an account number for you. Am I right? Yes. You don't get it the same day, do we? It takes a few moments, maybe for 1 week. They now tell you, okay, fine, this is your account number. When next you want to go back to that bank to do transaction, do they create a new account number for you? Okay, now if you want to go to that bank, and when you get there, they give you a teller to fill. Am I right? If you fill your account number, is it necessary to fill your name? It's not necessary. If you fill the account number, it's not necessary to fill your name, because when once they have that account number, all your details are there, all your details will appear. And that is what has happened here. That is what has happened on the Ebs Rcm. When once you go to make payment at the bank creates what we call a payer identification number, which is the same thing as account number. Am I right? So each time you want to make a repeat call to the bank to make payment, what do? You simply supply that number. All your profile will appear. And this is our strategy. If that happens, if you supply your payer ID and it happens that you are correct about it, your profile will never be duplicated. Errors relating to my name is not correct, my payer ID is not there, my address is not correct, I don't have an email, I don't have phone number, all of those things will not be there. And you spend less time at the bank. Because so what the man does is simply, okay, fine, this is your payer ID, he simply puts into the system, all your profile comes, he goes ahead with your transaction. So he doesn't need to ask you what is your name again. He doesn't need to ask you what is your phone number again. He doesn't need to ask you what is your email address again, which is the one annoying people. Say, how can you ask me about my email? I don't have. Because for your payer ID to have been created, all of those information must have been supplied. And that is, my colleagues was talking about multiple profiles or multiple payer IDs in the system. This is the solution to that. And how do I recognize my payer ID? How is it delivered to me? All of us by now should have the electronic tax clearance certificate. I'm sure of that. If we don't have this, everybody's around today, you can apply and they will process it and make it around for you. Now, the payer ID is on that card. That's number one source, number one authentic source of getting that payer ID. Number two is that the payer ID is on the receipt. Let's say that you're a first-time payer, the bank simply creates a payer ID for you and delivers a receipt for you. That payer ID is on that receipt. Then the third place is that you get an alert. When once there is a successful payment at the bank, you get an alert on that payment. That alert also delivers the payer ID. Okay, now all of these ones is okay. I don't have access to those ones. Okay, fine, it's okay. From time to time, you should request for your remittance statement. Then once your remittance statement, you get your remittance statement, your payer ID is also there. And if you try all of these things and they don't work, what happens? You can make a call to Alphabet and say, okay, what is my payer ID? Or this time around, you have to supply your correct name. If you supply your correct name, they'll fetch it and give it to you. But if you're at the bank, and it's okay, fine, I don't know my payer ID, I don't have the receipt, I don't have an ETCC card, but I have paid before. And you're sure that you have paid before, that means that you have a payer ID. The bank does not need to create a new one. All they need is to search this Ebs Rcm. They search on this Ebs Rcm, and they will fetch your payer ID, and they will use it to do that transaction. That also poses a little bit of a problem. Now, what problem does it pose? My name is Okechukwu Okoro. I live at Water Corporation Road, Ijora, Lagos. That is my address and all of that. When my payer ID was created. Am I right? But now, I now live, okay, let me get a little bit of a promotion. I now live at number 10, Gerard Street, Ikoyi. Am I right? Now, I want to make payments now. And I bring my payer ID. Will my payer ID be reading 10 Gerard Road, Ikoyi, or 10 Water Corporation Road, Ijora? What will my address be reading? Water Corporation. That is what it will be reading. So if I go ahead and make payments, then my receipts will not bear 10 Gerard Road, Ikoyi, it will bear Water Corporation. Then you now bring back your receipt and say, this is not, the information on the receipt is not correct. The information on the receipt is correct. What has not happened is that you're supposed to have updated your profile. Now on this website, you have a place there, a request column or a request link where you can make a request and apply for updates of your profile. You apply for the update of your profile, but you have to do that with the correct evidence. That is for security purposes because there's identity theft and all of that. So that you can also accomplish via this website. I've talked about reports generation. You can generate any form of reports the way you want it, in the format you want it, in the structure you want it, via this website. Then forms and resource download is also very, very available on that website. My colleagues must have been talking to you about the ETCC processing forms and all of those things. All of those forms are online there. You can download them there, it's free. And you don't need to log on, you don't need to have security. It's on the general mode. You download them, fill them, return them, and so on and so forth. Then you can also get information. You can say, okay, how do I pay tax in Lagos State and all of that. All of that information is also there, and any other thing you want to do. Of course, inquiries. You can ask questions. I don't know the kind of questions you want to ask now. That's okay. Please, which one is it? I live in Abuja. Where is the nearest tax station? You can ask that kind of question. You can ask that kind of question there. Or you can search the system to fetch for tax stations and all that. Okay, fine, give me the list of tax stations and all that. So it's even very, very good for research purposes. For those of us who go to school and all of that, it's fine. How many tax stations do we have in Lagos State and all of that? So you can go down there, search for those things, and you get them, and so on and so forth. Do I still have time? I don't have time. Okay, thank you.